Okay, everyone. So let's do this other reading. And this one is going to be for Cory Booker. And of course, this is a politician in the United States of America. So again, my friend, and I'm going to tag her in this video, put out a message and I saw her video. So I decided to look at the chart for these people that she mentioned, minus one. But anyway, so Cory Anthony Booker, date of birth, April 27th, 1969. Washington, D.C., time 1:10 a.m. His life path is a two, his attitude is a four. So right off the bat, and with his given his day of birth is a nine, it really puts him in a mindset of having a humanitarian outlook. So people would see him as caring for the greater good and maybe willing to sacrifice himself. His actual month of birth is the four, which is a home number and a hard working number. So this is the energy of a person who works for domestic affairs to make sure that they align with what's good for the greater good. That's the type of energy that he gives off. His life path of a two is all about relationships and togetherness, and partnerships. Of course, there's some lower vibrations. I'm giving you the higher vibrations. There's some lower vibrations. So when you look at him with astronumerology, those are some key things for him. I can give you more information about him because I actually have his time of birth. So when I looked at his chart, and of course, I've developed my own little chart. So what I'm looking at now is my own where I take the information and put it into a chart that I've created. So when I looked at his chart and I was looking at his bread and butter, meaning the side of how he makes his money, I found some things to be interesting because the stuff that came up was, yeah, it made sense. Like, for one, power with speech. So his voice, his speaking was going to be a way for him to make money. I can see that. He's an orator in the government. Okay, great. But then another thing came up with this Saturn energy. And Saturn energy says he would make money in dirty places, in slums, in places that don't seem clean, places that could be drug infested and things of that nature. And I was like, well, that's kind of weird. And then the other side came up saying, yes, he would be an advisor in governmental buildings and public places. And then he would make money through secrets and plots and other people's money and military action. He would receive money from groups or clubs and investments in the government. And he would work in what's deemed as inaccessible places. So my final analysis would be he would use his sacred oral traditions within clubs and government in his speech to make money. He would also profit from other people's money. He would serve as an advisor in governmental in buildings, excuse me, and he would have investments, perhaps investments in homes and real estate and things of that nature. So when I saw this part of this, I was like, these secret places, and dirty places and drug places. So I looked him up online and saw that when he initially started out, he did a 10-day strike where he slept in a tent in a dirty place to bring awareness to a particular cause. He went and lived in a building where all drug addicts and drug people were in that neighborhood as part of a cause. And eventually that place was bought and, turned around and things of that nature. So he has not been above getting in the gutters, getting in the dirt, getting down with the people who are seen as abased. And he has done that on several occasions. And so, of course, that brought attention to him. And of course, he got donations because of that. And then he formed partnerships because of that. And people were like, yes, this is a good cause. This is a good guy. We should get behind him. We should rally behind him. And there are secrets and plots which says he's also made some deals that probably are not above board. Okay. I'll leave it at that. So when you don't necessarily agree with some of the things that he votes for, he's probably made some deals to where he's had to have those votes because he has other people's money and he's accountable to that money. So then I went because my friend posted her thing about the warning, and I did my little death doula. And in my doing my little death doula, I looked at how would he die and why did I do that? Because I that prompted me to look at some other things in his charts and other areas in his chart. Because when I looked at that death side, it said that he would more than likely die in a dirty place or a kind of drug place or someplace like that. And it would be in a situation where it's scandalous, where people would not expect for him to be. So it would kind of come across as if he was in a place that would involve sexual activity where he was not supposed to be. So in a place he really, most people be like, why was he there? He shouldn't have been there. Not like necessarily on his regular business. And it would look like something like a drug overdose or a robbery gone bad in a sexual exploit or something like that. So that's, again, remember the energies, you have different parts that you could go to. So that's the energy that's in his chart. And it also suggests a secret lover. The other thing that showed up, of course, is, and this is a minor energy, there's a minor energy of a head injury in a government building. So that's a minor energy. So there's a chance, and that can happen. And yeah, that could happen, at any time. I didn't look at the actual dates for him, but that's a possibility in a government building that he receives a head injury. But for the most part, he is looking at a different type of death that has not necessarily being pew pew. Okay. So people have a lot, and the energies are what they are. We're born with different energies, and if you're aware of the different energies that you're born with, you can do something about them. Um, because yeah, he has some he has some challenges in that area. Let's just say that in the sexual area. In his chart, I do not know this man. This is the energy within his chart. So yeah, that's what I have for the type of death that he will have. So, alrighty, bye.